Hey everyone, and welcome to today's episode in which we are going to talk to unchanging frontman of the German heavy metal band Grave Digger Chris Boltendahl. Unfortunately, me and Chris had some internet connection problems, and therefore there will be only audio to this conversation, but I'm pretty sure you will still enjoy it. And meanwhile, don't forget to check out the review on the latest Grave Digger album Fields of Blood on the Instagram page and subscribe to the channel. Here you go. Thank you so much, for finding time and jumping on a call with me. I really appreciate it. Are you in Germany?
I'm in the middle of Germany. I'm living in Cologne.
Yeah, love that city. I'm there quite often, actually.
Good.
Yeah, how are you coping with the quarantine?
Yeah, like everybody. Yeah, it's a situation, and it's unless how can I tell you? It's depressing because you have a new record out, you can't play live. We had so many plans for this year, and but at the end, nothing will happen, and everything is moving to the next year. So yeah, let's make the best out of it, and yeah. At the end, it's the most important thing is that everybody stay healthy, and that we come good through all this crisis.
Exactly. I mean, and humanity maybe uses this time to reflect on, on certain things we are doing. I completely agree with you. And, and this year, you're celebrating 40 years on stage with your 20th studio album. This is pretty impressive. Congratulations, by the way, on this milestone. Did this worldwide, lockdown mess up any of your plans for some grand celebration of some sort?
Yeah, we planned a lot of festivals this summer time, and we also had some really special events. We planned a huge Wacken show, and we were, I think, at the Wacken show that we planned there were 70 people on stage. So a really huge thing. But we can't do anything, and we hope that COVID-19 will disappear like it comes, and that we can start playing live again next year.
Yeah, I really hope that you move this celebration. I'm really excited to catch you on the road and see what you have planned for this milestone, right? And in general, I'm just wondering how the industry is going to change. I mean, for me, heavy metal is all about live shows and everything. I don't think that heavy metal would survive for this many years without the energy the bands and the people around the stage produce. And if the bands are going to go to online shows only, this is not going to be the same. I don't know. Have you guys considered live shows or something like that? Or online shows, I mean?
No, we made a Facebook post 3 weeks ago where we said that we never will do any streaming shows or something like that, or drive-in cinema shows playing in front of cars. That is nothing what we compare with metal,
Yeah.
Metal is the energy, singing together, smelling the sweat of the people, and nothing. I don't want to play in front of 500 cars, giving me the whoop, 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 after every show, every song, or playing in an empty hall with a light show and everything. I need to put my energy from the stage to the people. For that, I need the energy back from the people. And if I imagine the people hanging around in front of their TV or computer with a beer or sitting on their sofas, looking Grave Digger and said, "Oh, that's Grave Digger. Look, they're in an empty hall." I don't think that it makes sense. I know that a lot of bands do that, and it starts now. Also, I saw that Battle Beast will do a live stream for money also in a couple of weeks. But it has nothing to do with heavy metal. Then I can watch a DVD or something.
Yeah. Watch it from Wacken, yeah. Love that.
Yeah. Why not? And but it's at the end. Everybody must know it by herself. But Grave Digger definitely will wait until we get back the freedom to do really live shows. Until that, we write a new record.
Talking about Fields of Blood, right? It's the third concept album based around Scotland. And while it is, it's somewhat different from the Tunes of War, which I personally felt, for me, it was like a history lesson. I actually did learn a lot about Scottish history, believe it or not, from that album. It made me go and dig on this matter a little bit more. And I totally get the fascination with the Scotland that you got, right? Given the beautiful landscapes and an interest in history. What I was wondering is how much of in-depth research do you actually do before writing a concept album like this one, and how is it conducted?
The idea to do another album about Scotland was 2 years ago in summertime. There was in Scotland again with my family and with my boy, who was 12 years old at this time. And I showed him all the famous battlefields. We went into the museums and all these castles. And in one museum, there was an old guy sitting in a corner. He was working there, and he was sleeping. And when I saw this guy sitting there, I thought by myself, oh, this guy is a Clans member. I will call him Edward McLean. And he's sleeping, and in his daydreams, he's going back to his own history, and he's moving to all these chapters of Scottish history. And then I had the idea and said, okay, we have to do another one, and I will take the role of Edward McLean and telling the people more or less the emotional side, because I was there in my history with William Wallace, with Malcolm II and everybody, with Queen Mary. And I can tell the people in my lyrics on this record the emotional side when I was with all these famous people, That is the concept behind the new one.
Yeah, and in terms of the research, with all the history and battles and everything you did you do it yourself, or did you have anyone, helping out?
A huge staff, 20 people was working for me. No, I did it all by myself. I made a lot of research when we was there regarding my vacation, and I made a lot of comments, what I see in the museums, on pictures, watching movies in the museums, running around, seeing that. And I wrote everything down, and when I was at home again, I immediately started with the song titles and all this stuff, and reading some books. I also watched a new movie on Netflix called The Outlaw King, another movie about Robert the Bruce. And this one is really cool because he's more directly on the history side than William Wallace. William Wallace is a great entertainment movie, and Mel Gibson reached the target to take the people into this movie fighting for freedom. He transport the feeling very, very good, and that is the reason why I think he got all these Oscars also for this movie. Because on the historical side, Braveheart is bullshit, But to show the people the fight for freedom, the rebellion of the Scottish people, that was really, really cool. We reached this target, very good. But The Outlaw King is a much more dirty movie, and it's more historical based, and I like that one too. So I got a lot of inspirations from a lot of things.
It's good. I haven't seen it yet. I should check it out, I guess. In terms of the creative process behind the album, were you guys able to work together in the studio, or you had to do it remotely at some point?
Everybody has a studio so far. I have my recording studio at home, and Axel has a big studio, and also Marcus, the drummer, has his own studio. The only one who has no studio is Jens. And we're doing a huge pre-production for every record. So normally you can release this pre-production as a record. I think many bands would do that. If they listen to our pre-production, they say, why you don't release that one? But then when we finish the pre-production, we go into the studio and start recording everything from point zero again with a real professional team together, and Axel doing his guitars in his studio. I'm doing most of the vocals in the professional studio, but also I did a lot of vocal at my home studio. So step by step, it's like a big mosaic that we put all the steps together and until the final mix. And this time we did a lot of things during the final mix. We saw, okay, there something missing there, and we recorded it at home and sent it to the studio to put it in. That was a really productive process this time.
Back some years ago, you did a brilliant collaboration with Doro on The Ballad of Mary, and this time you've invited Noora Louhimo from Battle Beast. It's a relatively young band from Finland. Again, compared to Grave Digger, a lot of bands are young bands. How was it like working with her? Did you enjoy the process?
Yeah, she's really professional. That, by the way, but at first we like to do it with Alicia Whiteglass from Arch Enemy. Mm-hmm. Because she's a good friend of Axel, but she hadn't time to do that. And then we remembered how we not Doro again, because we did it one time. So which female singer, is impressed us in the last years? And then I remember the song Black Ninja from Battle Beast, and I said, oh, Noora would be cool on this one to slap into the role of Queen Mary. And then we met her on a couple of festivals. We worked everything out. And last November we picked her up after a show here in Germany and brought her to Axel's studio. And we recorded all the stuff with her. And she made a really great job.
Yeah, it is a great song. And, the charts show that it is one of the fans' favorite one on the album. It's a great job on this one. I agree with you. Do you have a favorite track from Fields of Blood?
Or it changed from week to week.
Yeah, you heard it for a little bit longer than we did.
But for me, the easiest way, I start with the first song and end it with the last song. But I think in the moment, it's Freedom is my favorite one.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you guys play that one live, once all of this craziness is over. And I know the Fields of Blood has just been released, right? But given Grave Digger is one of the most, stable, bands in heavy metal, and releasing a record roughly every 2 years, more or less. And I think at some point, both you and Axel said that you already have ideas for the new record. Can you shine some light on what it is going to be about? Is it going to be a concept album or not? And if so, maybe possibly what it is going to be about?
No.
Secret.
So the only thing I can tell it will be another concept CD, that's for sure. But about the topic and all the stuff behind that, I don't want to tell anybody, because it's in the early stages, and nobody knows how things will change for this record. But I can tell you that we are working in the moment with cover artist for the cover. Because normally I had the idea of this album in my head, and then I have to start first with the cover, more or less. Mm-hmm. Then I can remember the picture when I write my songs and all the stuff. So, yeah, we are figuring out everything in the moment.
Let's go. And, this cover art is stunning, right? I mean, I know you changed the cover artist. You usually go with you worked with a Hungarian artist for quite a long time, if I'm not mistaken, right? And this time you went with Alex, I think, Tarso.
Yeah. I discovered him on Facebook, and I like his style of painting, and I thought that's a great idea to use him for this album, mm-hmm. And because his style fits very well, because it should be a little bit like the Tunes of War cover, mm-hmm. Not the same, but in the same way. And he did an amazing job. He's really a great painter. But for the new one, we will change again, and because there we have something special in our head, a special kind of painting again. And this time we use again the guy from Hungary.
Interesting. And in terms of musical influence, while writing this album, has there been any? I mean, obviously, except for your own discography. I mean, is there anything particular you've been listening to, and maybe any new bands you can point out, except for Battle Beast?
Oh, I listen. I'm an old fart, I'm listening to to old metal, I'm a fan of Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Rainbow. This is one of my favorite bands. Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple. That is my stuff I'm listening to. And sometimes I listen to newer bands, but after one or two songs, Battle Beasts and or Beast in Black or all these bands, they create something new, you know. I call it disco metal, you know. That is not negative, but that is metal for me is heavy and hard, and that all the stuff they sing is really funny, I think. But it's okay that it creates this kind of a new style in metal. But for me, as an old man, it's a little bit too fluffy, you know.
I mean, there are a lot of tough new bands as well. I think what I agree with you is if for so many new bands they release 2 or 3 albums and then they're like, oh, that's it, I don't have any more inspiration, and then they disappear for like 10 years or something like that. Grave Digger is not like that, and that's why you have such a loyal fan base, that's been around with the band for a very long time, and will stick with the band for hopefully another 40 years. But what keeps you going? I mean, what kind of goals and you set in front of yourself personally as a frontman of the band and maybe as a band?
I don't know how much time we have. At first, everybody have to stay healthy in the band, that we can carry on our music. But on the other side, yeah, we are excellent. We are like young kids, we like to do music, and we can't stop doing that.
Please don't.
We are infected, and I think we're going up stronger and stronger from album to album, and I think that we have really cool ideas for the next one too. So we love this kind of music. We want to play this music. We want to write this kind of music, and that's the reason why we carry on. And I think we have another 10 or 15 years, and then I will retire definitely.
Hopefully more. And as during this 40 years of Grave Digger, do you have? I mean, maybe there was one most memorable show or tour, or one story that you cherish from your touring that you want to share with the fans?
Oh, there are a lot of interesting stories, but one is really funny. It was in 1985 for the Witch Hunter. We played a show on a Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. in a club in the Netherlands. And there were only, I think, 15 people. And the second song was Witch Hunter. And in the solo, I heard a big bang beside me. And I saw to my right side, and I missed the guitar player. He was falling from the stage because he was so drunk. And the pity was that the stage was really high, 1.5 meter high, and he was laying there like an animal on his back and struggling, and that was really funny.
I hope he's safe.
I don't know. I don't see him for the last 30 years.
That's cool. I mean, let's just pray you will be able to, you and the other bands, and Heavy Metal will be able to hit the road pretty soon, and all of this madness around the world is over. I'm really excited to see you guys live somewhere around Europe sometime.
Yeah, we pray for that.
Yeah.
That is what we can. Writing music and playing music.
Yes. All right, I'm conscious of your time, so and I don't want to keep you too busy. There is one, I do a shout out on internet before talking to any musicians, and usually fans throw questions at me, and this one, it's actually got voted a lot, believe it or not. I was contemplating whether to ask it or not, so feel free to either ditch us aside and or go ahead and answer it. But where do you want to be buried? Either Germany or Scotland?
Oh, I want to be buried where my family is. That they can do some flowers on my grave. That is the most important thing. If I was buried in Scotland, nobody will visit me.
That's true. All right, man. Thank you so much for your time. Any last message for the fans that you want to share with them?
Stay healthy, believe in metal, and check out our new album, Fields of Blood.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, and stay healthy. Yeah, bye-bye.